Okay, we have to finish up with this segment because I have to do something at noon, and so I'm going up on a quarter of. And I think whatever I do, I'm going to do on my computer, so I'll be okay. We have to cover this right now. I guess I've been beating around the bush. So what it is we have the same string shapes that will go up on this imaginary fretboard here. But look at how long this is. This starts C here and it goes to C again octave and it goes to C again. So that's longer than my guitar. Okay, because C would start down here. Let's say this E rather would start here. Here's only an octave. Okay, so the next octave would be up here, and the other one would be over here. So it's a long keyboard. It's a long story. I like to make it long sometimes, only because I don't want to have any difficulties with transitions that are not shown. For instance, down here you don't have the transition from C to the E box, but we can catch it up here, C to the E box right here. It's just that up here we have tripentatonic labels, and here we have the modals. But the tripentatonic labels are the same as the modals. Modals just have more. So here's C, E, G. That's C-shaped root, E-shaped fourth, G-shaped fifth. Here's C-shaped root, E-shaped fourth, G-shaped fifth. So this just gives you a little bit more. So let's try this thing. We're going to try it out. So we're going to start with the old diagram. We're going to say, let's start a G shape from the second string. Or actually, we're going to try to stay in C. So we're going to try to do a C shape from the second string. Okay, so here's our C shape. Remember, C shape isn't C. This is C. But it probably applies to that. But right now, we're just going to do a C pentatonic. There's your C pentatonic. Do it from the second string, it becomes an E shape. Well, guess what? Where's our E pentatonic? So we could do it, say, up here. Okay, so we start with this guy way up here. If we find that up here, the same thing, and we're gonna build that C right there. So here we go, C shape. Okay, well, guess what? That became an E shape. And then starting from the third string now, it's going to become a different shape. What shape is that going to be? And that's where we invoke our our string shaped circle. So starting C shape from the second string, it becomes an E shape. From the third string, it becomes an A shape. So here we're back on the playing board. We had to start up here so we could do these increasing C's, this diagonal here. So this was way up high. That was our starting point. But we know what we're doing up there, right? C-shaped pentatonic. Okay, started from the second string, it becomes an E shape. So now you have that bottom string of that E shape. Third string, we're going to start that C shape pentatonic, and it's going to become what? According to this, two strings up from the string we're on, it's going to be an A shape. So here's our C shape. There it is, A shape. Okay, we started from three strings up from the beginning, which is the fourth string. We're going to start that E shape way up here, C shape way up here. Okay, so it's right there, becomes a D shape. So from that fourth string C shape here, we know from the chart it's going to become a D shape. That gives us the bottom notes. How does that help us? How can this thing help us? I'll just give you a brief explanation because it's almost like a whole nother subject. Suppose you're playing something like this, and you don't know where to go. You know you got 3, 4, 5. That's all you know. Okay, you could go in fourths. The fourth of C is the E shape, so it's all right. And then going down one more, the fourth of the E shape is the A shape. You can go up in fifths. C shape's going to go to G shape, and G shape is going to go to D shape. D shape is going to go to A shape. But if you start on this shape here, this chart would help you. You're on the third string. You know it's going to become an A shape. So now you're doing it. You can go into an A shape. So that's what's going on here. This chart, and you know, which brings out one of the wonderful, I say that sarcastically, wonderful attributes of a guitar, and that is you have repeatability. So any shape you can do down here, like an E shape. An E shape would be, you can start that E shape up here, and you can just do some of that shape, then hit the tuning warp. The question is, what shape did it become? Okay, respecting the tuning warp, you can play any shape into that warp. Here's a C shape. So you got but what shape did it become without playing it through the tuning warp, which made it a D shape? So and that's where we use the fifths and the fourths. So it's easier to use fourths to go down here, down 2 strings. So 2/4 from our C shape is A shape, right? It should be. All right, so what we got here is 2/4 from the C shape is your A shape right there. It's a little confusing. So just a little thing to cover today. I'm taking advantage of the fact I have the labels for the key of C. Is that when you do, let's say, an A shape pentatonic, if you do that A shape in a diatonic, it takes on 2 extra shapes. It'll take on the 1, the 4, and the 5. Now from the A, the 4 is the D shape, and the 5 is the E shape. Now 5 is always going to give us our interesting thing, but in this case, the D shape gives us this F. So it would be, instead of, then we'd have the D shape. Okay, and then we'd have the E shape. And that gives us our full diatonic A shape. Which is simply, it's actually a a very big, enormous a 2-octave Mixolydian scale. So that's interesting. If you want to do a 2-octave Mixolydian scale, just do a diatonic A shape. If you want to do a 2-octave Aeolian scale, okay, just do a diatonic G shape. Now remember, how would that be in pentatonics? It would be G, the 4th of G is C, and the 5th of G is D. So we'd have the G shape,